Hello, my basset hound friends and my sexy pie cuties. Mark the Punk Gamer, a.k.a. Markapunk here. And this is the follow-up from my re-ranking of Exodus. I'm going to be ranking another classic, well-known heavy metal band of all time. And yes, you've seen it from the title. I'm ranking Dio for the first time. And since I haven't done it yet, because Ronnie James Dio is the most legendary rock singers of all time, because I really want to do this ranking all 10 of them worst to best. And Dio is just awesome. I really love Dio, guys. One of the best heavy metal bands of all time, aka Ronnie James Dio. And yes, he's well known in other bands as well. He made appearances on, and he's mostly for Dio. That's really well known. But yeah, I'm ranking all 10 of the Dio albums for the first time, worst to best, and my thoughts on them. And that's going to be fun. Here we go, my first time ranking the Dio albums, worst to best. Let's get this shit started now. My number 10th least favorite out of all of them is my bottom, which I'm not really a fan of, and he went really off the rails with this one, which is, I could say is Angry Machines. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one's my least favorite. He definitely went really off the rails after Strange Highways. We'll get to that one in a second. But this turned out to be my least favorite Dio album, I'm sorry. But there is a couple of songs I did like. So, Institutional Man and lastly Hunter of the Heart. Those are the only songs I like from it. But overall, this is my bottom least favorite of Dio's. And overall. Yeah, my number 10th is Angry Machines. At my number 9 spot, like I said about going off the rails and doing something completely deeply different, which is Strange Highways, like I just mentioned. Yeah, this turned out to be my second least favorite. It really has that more heavier, darker tone out of the 10 Dio albums. That's the only thing I like about it. It has a little bit of a darker heavy metal tone. But this one is not really for me either. 4 songs I did like is Firehead, Hollywood Black, Pain, Blood from Stone, that's about it. Yeah, he went off the rails and go to a much darker route in his heavy metal musicisms that Ronnie James Dio did. Holy crap, there's some history about this one. And it's definitely the Strange Highways it is. But unfortunately, you're my second least favorite at my number 9 spot, which is Strange Highways. Number 8 spot, which is Master of the Moon. Yeah, this one. This is Ronnie James Dio's last album he made back in 2004, I believe. Yeah. Until years later when he passed away back in 2010, like 16 years ago. And which is pretty sad, I know. This is his last album he made before he went off to do other bands and such like that. And it does leave a sad note about this one, but it's just a below average Dio album in my opinion. It's not that great, to be honest, but I can have a decent enough time with this one. Okay, songs I like. One More for the Road, The End of the World, Shivers, The Eyes, and lastly, Death by Love. So there you go. About 5 songs I like from this album, and this is his last sad note to this last album he made overall. That's why I give it a little bit credit right here in this placement. And it's below average to me, decent. Number 8 spot for me is going to be Master of the Moon. Alright, my number 7 spot for this one, and this is an interesting one here, and it's called Magica album. Yeah, this one's okay as well. Dio's Magica, this is another decent one. It could have been better, but it's somewhere in the middle of my ranking. I can somewhat have a decent enough time with this one. Songs I like is Discovery, Magica theme instrumental, Fever Dreams, Feed My Head, Chalice, Losing in My Insanity, Magica Reprise. This is one of his longest Dio albums ever recorded for this one. That's why I have to put it right here at my number 7. But it's decently cool. I'll give a credit for that, Dio. I really do. But it's not high in my ranking. But for that, my number 7 spot is going to be Magica. Number 6 spot for this one is going to be Dream Evil. I know most of you Dio fans love this one, but for me, I am mixed on this one. It's not as great as the last one, to be honest. It's not. But I can still have a good time with this one. Don't get me wrong, this is still a good album, but it's in the middle of my ranking. I can have a good enough time with this. But to me, it's above average Dio album. Dream Evil is decently cool in my opinion. So the songs I like, Dream Evil, Sunset Superman is a really catchy ass song. I really like that one. All the Fools Sailed Away, one of his best songs. Naked in the Rain, and lastly, I Could Have Been a Dreamer. Yeah, that Sunset Superman song is so good in this album. I'm not even joking. Holy shit. I really enjoyed that song, by the way. But it's in the middle of my ranking, and it's above average Dio album to me. I know most of you fans like this one, but it's still in the 80s era of Dio. And yeah, to me it's above average. That's my number 6, which is Dream Evil. Okay, we're still in the 80s era. At my number 5 spot, which is Sacred Heart. Yeah, this one's pretty good. It's not in my top 3 though. This is still a good Dio album. I still enjoy it. But there is a couple of tracks I'm not really a fan of, but this is still a good Dio album overall. I can have a good enough time with this one. And yeah, I do. Anyway, King of Rock and Roll, Sacred Heart, Rock and Roll Children, one of his well-known songs. Hungry for Heaven, of course. Like the Beat of a Heart, yes. And lastly, Fallen Angels. Yes, this is still a good Dio album from the 80s era. I somewhat enjoyed, but there's a couple of songs that didn't really interest me that much. I'm sorry, I get it. But it's at my number 5 spot, which is Sacred Heart. Oh, you know what time it is. Yes, all lick of approval. These are my top 4 of my most favorite Dio albums, by the way, so be prepared for this. And yes, these are the ones I really like the most. And let's do this. Number 4 for me is going to be The Last in Line. Yeah, I really love this one. To me, The Last in Line is definitely the best follow-up since Holy Diver, to be honest. This is their best follow-up. I can really enjoy this one, and they're still with the Warner Brothers recording studio at the time. Ever since the first one, which is Holy Diver, but it still has the same goddamn production. This is a damn good follow-up to it. I enjoy this one. I'm gonna tell you all the tracks. They're really good. We Rock, The Last in Line, Breathless, I Speed at Night, One Night in the City, Evil Eyes, Mystery, Eat Your Heart Out, and lastly, Egypt, The Chains Are On. Yes, this is a goddamn Dio classic and a really good follow-up to Holy Diver, in my opinion. Really good. Number 4 spot is going to be The Last in Line. Alright, my number 3 bronze spot, actually, for this one, and I really like this one, and I think in my own honest opinion, this is way better than Master of the Moon, is going to be Killing the Dragon. I really love Killing the Dragon. This is actually his best one in the 2000s era of Dio. I really like this one. Killing the Dragon, hell yeah, it rocks. I like this one. This, I think, has the best production in my opinion, and I don't give a shit. I enjoy this one. I love this one. I can say so many praises about Killing the Dragon. Dio's Killing the Dragon. I really like this one. Alright, all 10 tracks. Killing the Dragon, Along Comes a Spider, Scream, Better in the Dark, Rock and Roll, Push, Guilty, Throwaway Children, Before the Fall, and lastly Cold Feet. Yes, I think this is the best Dio's 2000s type era of this album. I really do enjoy this one. This made it to my top 3. I enjoy this one very much. Number 3 bronze spot, I have to give it to Killing the Dragon. Number 2, Silver Spot, here we go, is going to be Lock Up the Wolves. I really love the shit out of this one because this one right here came out in the early 90s era of Dio. One of the better early 90s of Dio, to be honest. Lock Up the Wolves is one of them. God damn, this is his best one in the early 90s era. This is definitely my top favorite one. Lock Up the Wolves. Sorry. I really like this one. So good in my opinion. I give it all 10 stars for this one. This is his best early 90s work in the band Dio. So here we go. Wild One, Born on the Sun, Hey Angel, Between Two Hearts, Night Music, Lock Up the Wolves, there you go, Evil on Queen Street, Walk on Water, Twisted, Why Are They Watching Me, and lastly, My Eyes. Yeah, this is definitely one of my top favorites of all time. Lock Up the Wolves is in the best era of the heavy metal early 90s era. I enjoy this one very much. I highly recommend it, and definitely his best 90s work, in my opinion. Number 2 silver for me is going to be Lock Up the Wolves. Out of all 10 of these Dio albums, it's the most obvious number 1 gold medal, most favorite, and yes, it's the most obvious one. I'm gonna say it anyway. Holy Diver, yes, this is his debut, first main album release. This is his Dio's most iconic one ever made, and the most best-selling ones ever made in the early 80s. Goddamn, I like this one. Yeah, this one is a goddamn classic, and his first main full length is so good. It can never be outmatched by this at all. This is his best one out of the 10. And I picked this as my number 1 gold medal winner. And hell yeah, it's his well-known one from Dio fans, of course. Yeah, other than that, I'm gonna crave about this one every day and night about this one. Yeah, Holy Diver is the best. I'll finish it off by naming all 9 of the tracks. These are well known. So Stand Up and Shout, Holy Diver, Gypsy, Caught in the Middle, sorry. Don't Talk to Strangers, well known. Straight Through the Heart, Invisible. Rainbow in the Dark, best one. And lastly, Shame on the Night. All 9 of these songs are just goddamn classics, in my opinion. Out of the 10, this is my most favorite. That is my number 1 gold medal winner. It's definitely Holy Diver. And there you go, my best sound friends and my sexy pie cuties. That is my first time ranking the Dio albums worst to best. And goddamn, I love Ronnie James Dio's vocals. They're just so good. Especially in his Holy Diver album, especially. That's where his best vocals are at. And I'm happy to get that done. And it's another classic heavy metal band that's well known. And yeah, I really do like Ronnie James Dio. He's awesome. And that's all I have to say. I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Subscribe to me if you have not. Click the bell to get notified in all of my notifications. Yes, like and share my ranking of the Dio studio albums worst to best, so I get more views and more subscribers. And I'll see you, my best sound friends and my sexy pie cuties, on my next video. See you later.